Welcome to Hidden SQuiDZ Gaming. Here you can see that I have a Vestal, Crusader, Bounty Hunter, and a Man-at-Arms. Therefore, we're going to try to avoid heavy stress damage dealers because I don't really do too well at reducing that. Therefore, in this fight, we're going to be focusing both Bone Royalty. We're going to be doing that with the Come Hither ability on the Bounty Hunter. So we're going to drag him forward, and that's going to set up a potential kill shot for the Crusader. Now, I have an option with my Man-at-Arms. I can either repose, which I'm going to do, or I could have bolstered. But I want to repose now just in case they target him because he's marked, and thus I'll be able to get some extra damage in. And then I use Judgment on the Backbone Royalty to do some extra softening damage. Then obviously we go in for the kill shot. We have now eliminated half one enemy and half of another. He was targeted, so we get some damage back. I'm not too worried about that physical damage, and the stress damage is the exact reason why we were focusing the Bone Royalty, because he's going to get to go twice in a row, and that's a lot of stress. Imagine if I left both of them alive, that would have been 68 stress damage, and that'd be nigh impossible to recover in this party. I'm going to just do some extra damage to get my health back and also soften them up. Now obviously we can only attack the Bone General, which I will do. The Bounty Hunter will once again finish off the stress damage dealer. I'm just deciding which skill, doesn't really matter, so I kill him, and now it's just down to the big guy. He can do a lot of damage, so the more dodges, the riposte, or protections I can get, the better. Therefore, I'm actually going to bolster here to increase my dodge and stress reduction just in case he does get an unfortunate critical strike on me. I do want to try to stun him if possible, because stunning him would have allowed a full turn of just damage to go by. But I'm really not, I didn't get it, so I'm in a situation now where I just have to keep riposting. Because his Mace Crush, or just Crush, isn't that strong, and riposting will actually do more damage in the long run if he gets focused. Now that it is just left to the Bone General, I'm actually going to take a turn to reduce stress, and as you can see, that dodge is coming into play. If I can dodge one more time, I'll greatly reduce the damage I take, and I would have had opportunities to reduce stress damage coming in because I can use the Crusader. 18 damage isn't too bad, it's a lot, but that is why I have a Vestal. She can heal for 13. Obviously it's a semi-losing proposition, but with so much health on the Man-at-Arms, I can at least take a couple of turns of that if he doesn't critically strike. Because my Vestal did take so much damage, I really wanted to take a turn or two there to inspire, just to reduce that. And as you can see, I went from about, I believe, 40 stress on the Vestal down to about 20 now, if not 20, so that was a pretty good recovery. Before we get into this next fight, what I will say is I've gotten 2 damage increase items, or curios, onto my Man-at-Arms and Crusader. Now this is a particularly dangerous fight, and I need to bring the Bone Bearer forward first, because those Bone Lancers are going to cause too much damage if I decide to just keep killing them and hoping for criticals or removing the body, and also by not focusing the Bone Bearer they'll get the natural damage increase. I'm going to take Bolster because I need to increase my dodge to take less hits from the Bone Lancers, and then I'll get into riposting and focusing on the Bone Bearer. The good news is the Bone Bearer is in the front, and I also have a Crusader with a lot of unholy damage trinkets on, so we can take out a good portion of his HP right away. Also a fortunate stun to stop the Bone Lancer from going again. I'm still going to focus the Bone Bearer, thus finishing him. Now we have one that is stunned, and now both are going to lose their damage buffs. Obviously the one that's stunned still has that increase, however it is stunned, and I should be able to move on from that. A thing I might complain about is I maybe should have stunned there. Now, we're just going to finish off the one that's not stunned, and the one that's going to go unstunned, and now we're just going to focus him down with Focus Fire. There's no chance of stunning him, and a lucky critical. That was only a 3-man Bone Bearer fight, but definitely taking care of the Bone Bearer first was in my best interest, because the Bone Lancers could have done massive damage, gotten some nice criticals, and would have been just too much. And the other thing is, if the Bone Bearer stayed alive, he could have kept enabling the Bone Lancers, and they would have just gotten stronger and better, and they're already pretty decent at damage, especially in the AoE department. So even if I was going to protect some individuals, it may not have mattered. Now we have a proper 4-man lineup with a Bone Bearer, but once again we're going to come hither him forward and some nice criticals from the Bounty Hunter just to reduce some self-stress. Also that marking will be very useful later. Once again I'm taking this opportunity to bolster before any of the enemy lineup attacks. I did try to stun the Bone Militia there, just so he wouldn't go. Then obviously with extra damage and all that extra unholy, we can almost chunk down the Bone Bear in one shot. Next turn it will be crucial to kill him to reduce some of this extra damage. 14 isn't the worst, but multiple 14s will start to add up. Nice dodge, 73 dodge on my Man-at-Arms due to all the high dodge trinkets I have. That's why potentially marking the Man-at-Arms is going to be beneficial. Now, the Bone Bearer is protected, which means I'm going to have to stun him out, which I did. Now we can follow back up, and I am actually going to use the Man-at-Arms to finish and not riposte, because they're all going to lose their damage increases, and if I can stun the Bone Militia, we have now 2 out of the 3 damage dealers stunned and reduced. Thus we can probably pull the Arbalest forward next turn, because once again 14s are getting to be a little too much. And we're going to finish off the Bone Militia with the Crusader. Now we're going to pull forward because he's the last remaining strong damage dealer, and then we're going to take care of him. I am going to Retribution, it's a miss. Just in case he gets targeted by anything, now will be good. And now I'm going to go still slightly on the offensive just to get rid of him before he can go, but he does outbeat me. But as I said, he does focus him and gets hit with a 23 critical, which is why I did riposte. I got rid of a guy on a turn I didn't have to. And that's a nice dodge, and now I can just do some nice chip damage. Well, 21's not necessarily chip, but normally it'd be less than that because you wouldn't probably have both Unholy Trinkets on and an additional Warrior of Light buff from a Curio. Now I'm going to take a turn to heal him up, to get him there. And I'm not exactly going to try to finish him right away. I'm going to riposte, and here's why I'm not going to finish him right away. I'm going to use that to reduce stress on the Vestal. I'm going to milk this out for at least a turn or two, bring some torch back, and bring some stress down. I have him exactly where I want him. There's no real reason on why I need to kill him right away. And I just attacked the body there because I figured my stun chance wasn't too good, or I didn't want him shifting back. At this point the fight was pretty much over, and I didn't have to worry a whole lot about what he was going to do. I even decrease him in dodge and buff because I don't think he can do that much damage, and I was really looking to get the Vestal's stress down just around 0. So it would have been one more turn, but I'm not going to wait the full turn because at this point we're ready to move on. I've officially reduced my Vestal down to below to 10 stress, and this dungeon started off with a pretty heavy stress on her, so I call that a win. A thing that will go very far in the Darkest Dungeon is knowing when you can milk out stress heals or healing skills without taking too much in return or bringing in extra recruits. We're going to pull the Cultist Witch because she's the main stress damage dealer and I want to get rid of her immediately. However, once again we're going to bolster to reduce any stress she will do and also to increase that dodge. Sadly she did not dodge, but she does only take 18. That could have been much worse without some of that stress reduction. I'm just going to do some raw damage. I could have either stunned or damaged there. I'm just trying to soften up some of the individuals so they can get one shot by other damage dealers in my lineup. I'm not too worried about getting hit with 73 dodge, and I actually want him to be focused more, so eventually I will be retributioning so they focus people with marks. And that's why I chipped him out in the back, because now I could finish him with one more shot in the Crusader, and now we're down to 3 out of 4 enemies. I am getting fortunate that I'm not getting stunned because the Vestal's stun resistance isn't exactly the highest, and by stunning the Cultist Witch there we secure another round of no stress. And now what I can do is throw some caltrops back onto the Cultist Witch there so she can take some more damage and bleed, so I can hit her with some less strong abilities but still kill her. As you can see, I hit the max in a Retribution. She's going to take out to the bleed DOT, and now he's going to focus him with the Rend. An unfortunate miss, but the idea was there. He was marked, he took the attack, didn't take too much damage, and could have really capitalized if he would have done some nice damage there. I killed that body to move it up, so now everyone can be very close. I am going to stun and shuffle the Gargoyle, push the Cultist Witch back into the 3rd position, and now both people I need to kill are in the first 2 because the Witch will die. I only have 2 HP left on him. The Gargoyle did not get to go, and now I'm going to focus the Gargoyle because he does way more stress and damage than the guy in the front here. And now we're just going to finish off the guy in front because she will take out to the bleed DOT and this fight is over. I did take some decent amount of stress from this again, but Vestals aren't exactly the most dodge heavy, and also I had no strong reliable heals outside the Crusader. but with it being the ruins and the fact he got a damage increase, I wasn't looking to take away his turns to just take away 8 stress. Overall, I get out with 3 characters with 0 stress and 1 with 20. That's a pretty good win at the end of the day, and I fought only about 2 hard compositions, I would say, but this went extremely well for a short dungeon, and this lineup worked pretty well. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe below.